Hello there guys, Ed here, bringing you part 8 of What If Deku Went to the Dragon Ball Universe. Before we continue, I'd like to say a few things. I've been using the voice recorder to narrate my story, and this is the first time for me using it, and I would like to have your opinion if you liked it or not. If you liked it, I'll continue doing so. If not, well, I'll just use my voice. That said, let's get into it.
Last time on What If Deku went to the Dragon Ball universe, after the defeat of King Piccolo, Goku, and Izuku went to Korin's tower to recuperate. Then in order to revive Shenron, which will be able to bring back their friends, they met with Kami, and as a reward from Kami, he revived the dragon, but in exchange they had to stay at the lookout until the next World Martial Arts Tournament. 3 years of brutal training later, the Z Fighters reunited at the tournament gates and a guy named Kirishima approached them revealing that he too was from Izuku's world. Who will win the tournament? Well, let's find out. As Kirishima introduces himself to the gang, and coming to the revelation of Nijire and Shinobu also being from Japan, they chatted and then Kirishima asked the question.
Kirishima would say, "Out of curiosity, what is your quirk? And are your parents by chance pro-heroes?" Izuku, not flinching, he would say, "I'm sorry to say this, but no, my parents aren't pro-heroes. Besides, I'm quirkless." Kirishima, confused, he would say, "But you defeated a monster that could have destroyed the world." Izuku would say, "Well, back there I wasn't alone, and all I wanted to do was keep my friends safe, and stand my ground to anyone who tries to harm them." Kirishima, amazed, he would say, "Wow, I'm getting some All Might vibes from you. That is so cool and manly. How did you become so strong?" Izuku would say, "Well, I trained, and I learned a lot from my first master and his teachings. His name is Master Roshi, the Turtle Hermit."
But before Izuku could continue, he and Goku sensed the person Kami told them about and he tried to locate where it came from, causing the others to look confused on Goku's goofiness and Izuku's cheery demeanor turn into a more serious one. But trying to not arouse suspicion, they left it be for now, and since they got registered, they should go and eat and relax for the tournament. The day of the preliminaries. The gang entered the preliminary rounds, and did the usual stuff, with a girl being very angry at Goku, and she refuses to tell her name, but in this turn of events mercenary Tao eliminated Chaozu, and then Tao is eliminated by Tien. Kirishima manages to eliminate Shinobu, but then he is eliminated by Nijire. Yamcha gets eliminated by a guy named Hiro, that we know as Kami in disguise. So the 8 finalists are Izuku, Nijire, Hiro, Tien, Krillin, Anonymous, or rather Chi-Chi, Jr., Goku. The first round. Tien vs Krillin. This fight is very close, but Tien gets the victory. Izuku vs Nijire. Although Izuku wins, she tells him that they have something important to discuss. Goku vs Chi-Chi. This fight goes as in the anime, and the two get engaged. Junior vs Hiro. This fight goes as the anime and Kami had the Mafuba redirected at him. Semifinals. Tien vs Izuku. This fight is similar to the one Tien had in the anime, but unfortunately for him, Izuku wins and moves on to the finals. Goku vs Junior. This fight goes as in the anime, and just like the anime, Goku wins. Everything up until that point happens as in the anime, but there was one problem left. At the revelation of Junior being Piccolo's incarnation, there was nobody else other than the Z Fighters and the announcer, the remains of the ring, and not to mention most of the tournament grounds has been decimated, so the announcer cancelled the final fight, which bummed Izuku and Goku the most, not knowing which of the two was the strongest. But with Goku refusing Kami's role as guardian of the earth, he goes and gets married to Chi-Chi, and they have their little adventure as the newlyweds, to save the Ox King from his palace that was in flames. Izuku also refused Kami's position, and with Nijire, they spent some time together traveling the world and catching up. Kirishima went to train under Master Roshi with Shinobu and Krillin. The rest of the Z Fighters go to spend their time as the anime. Time skip to age 761. 5 years after the tournament. During these 5 years Izuku, after his little adventure with Nijire, he stayed at Capsule Corporate with Bulma alongside Nijire, while Shinobu was still training under Master Roshi. Izuku managed to learn a lot from Bulma and her father Dr. Briefs. His relationship with Nijire was going well, but Nijiare refused to get married unless it was back at their home with their parents. Izuku went to visit Goku from time to time only to find him now father of a boy named Gohan, and as Izuku saw Chi-Chi making sure Gohan studied, Izuku suggested that Gohan also learns martial arts. Because Izuku explained how things are done in the MHA world, Chi-Chi didn't jump at the idea, but she considered it, while Gohan idolized Izuku because he was both strong and smart. After a few months, Izuku with Goku's help, they managed to find all of the Dragon Balls. Izuku, Kirishima, Nijiare and Shinobu were ready to finally go home. They were having the reunion at Kame House. But just like the original, Raditz shows up disappointed that his brother didn't conquer the planet yet, but Goku told him that if he has any brothers, it's most certainly Izuku, and not Raditz. That comment made Raditz even more disappointed, and when he found out that his brother hit his head making him forget his Saiyan origin, it made too much sense. Then Raditz had enough. He gave Goku the ultimatum. Either join him or Raditz will take Gohan. Raditz did as the original and gut-punched Goku and whoever was in his way, took Gohan and disappeared. Izuku and Goku were planning on to follow them, but Piccolo showed up and Piccolo proposed a truce because they had a common enemy, Raditz. As the three arrived at Gohan's location, Raditz greeted them.
Raditz would say,
Well. Look who decided to drop in. If it isn't little brother, the Earthling, and the Green Man too. What a surprise. So what brings you here, Kakarot? Did you already eliminate 100 Earthlings?
Goku would say, I'm here to get my son back. Where is he? Raditz would say,
Yes. I was afraid you'd say that.
You are testing my patience, Kakarot. So for the last time, I strongly recommend that you join us. Goku would say, I don't care what you recommend. The answer is still no. Raditz would say,
you should listen to your big brother.
Goku would say, as I said earlier, as far as I'm concerned, Zuku is my brother. Raditz would say,
alright then, we can have it your way. Just know, I didn't come here to kill you. But it seems you left me no choice. It's too bad, little brother. I do think that you would have found the life of a Saiyan to be quite invigorating.
Goku would say, I'll ask one more time, where is my son? Raditz would say,
spare me the father dramatics. You can have one last look at him if you want. He's locked inside my space pod over there.
Goku took a glance and saw Gohan crying from the glass, and then the trio got in position. They looked at each other, and then they charged at Raditz. But Raditz dodged every punch and kick that came his way. This continued on until Raditz knocked them down one after another. First one down was Izuku, followed by Piccolo, as he lost his arm, and then Goku.
Raditz would say,
what's the matter with you three? You could at least try and do better. You don't want me to get bored, do you?
Goku would say,
Zuku, Piccolo, are you alright?
Izuku would say, yeah, I'm fine. As he stopped as soon as he saw Piccolo's arm missing. Piccolo would say,
don't worry about it. I'm still able to fight.
Raditz laughing and mocking Piccolo, he would say,
excuse me, has anyone seen my arm? You can't miss it. It's green.
Meanwhile at Kame House, Roshi wanted to see how the three strongest fighters on Earth fend against the Saiyan invader, so he alongside Nijiare, Bulma, Kirishima, Krillin, got into Bulma's plane and headed in their direction.
Nijiare would say, why didn't we follow them from the beginning? Kirishima would say, well, I think because Bulma couldn't find the capsule. Krillin would say, yeah, until she realized it was in her pocket the entire time. Bulma would be upset and she would say, well, excuse me, it's not like I've planned in advance that we'd be attacked by this alien. Kirishima would say, I wonder how they're doing. Roshi would say,
Goku and Izuku teaming up could have been enough, but with Piccolo, I'm sure that they will manage to come out unscathed.
Krillin would say, but Piccolo's why I'm even more worried. Probably Piccolo already teamed up with Raditz and blasted Goku and Izuku. Nijiare bonked Krillin on the head before he can finish the sentence, and she would say, my Zuzu can handle this with Goku and Piccolo. I trust Master Roshi's judgment, and I'm sure once that they get rid of Raditz and save Gohan, we can return to Kame House and then make the wish. And once back home, me and Zuzu can finally get married. Bulma would say, you know you could have gotten married here and probably stayed here? Nijiare would say, well, regardless of what you might say or how we like this place and how much we love you guys, me, Shi-chan, Kiri-chan, and Zuzu,
we don't belong here. We spent 16 years here, and all of our parents, friends, well, we kind of miss them. And Zuzu told me that Kami saw more people just like us suddenly appearing, so I think they also deserve a chance to return home. Bulma would say, I understand. We will miss you once you're gone, especially Goku. Neji would say, yeah, Zuzu told me. Two are like brothers. They've been through a lot, and together they saved the world and brought us back to life. And when the thought of telling him goodbye, he just couldn't stop his tears. Krillin would say, yeah, Goku's the same. Just say it and the poor guy starts with the waterworks. This marks the second time I saw him cry. Bulma would say, it looks like we're almost there.
Back at the battlefield. After they managed to get up from a second barrage of attacks failed, Piccolo tells the two to distract Raditz while he prepares the special beam cannon. Izuku led the attack by trying to get some hits in, then Goku was charging a Kamehameha wave. Izuku got out of the way as Raditz was trying to outspeed the attack following him, but he had enough and blocked it successfully, and after he could attack Goku with a ki blast of his own, he suddenly felt weak. He looked behind him, only to see Izuku grabbing onto his tail, rendering him unable to move. Piccolo on Izuku's signal, fired the attack, but something was wrong. As the beam was getting closer and closer, Raditz managed to make a ki blast, and blast his own tail off, making Piccolo's attack miss Raditz, and collide with Izuku's chest, piercing a hole in the middle of it, and killing him in the process. Goku, viewing the scene as he recovered from Raditz's previous assault, he saw his best friend, his first friend, and the friend that has been there for him from the start, which he considered to be like a brother, die, right in front of him. Goku rushed to Izuku's side, but Raditz found it hilarious and he started to laugh.
Raditz laughing, he would say, great job, Green Man. You spared me the trouble. And as for you, Kakarot, how does it feel? You know, this wouldn't have happened if you would have just come with me.
Before he could continue, his scouter started to beep and showed a power level rising that doubled, tripled, and then quadrupled.
Raditz shocked, he would say, 1,000? 3,000? 12,000? No. It can't be. Kakarot!
Goku's hair spiked upwards as his eyes became blank, and he started to beat on Raditz in a blind rage, but as he beat on Raditz, Goku's power level was decreasing rapidly back to what it was, and now he is out of the frenzy. Piccolo charged another special beam cannon and once it was ready, Goku held Raditz in a full Nelson and Piccolo fired the beam, and this time, piercing both Saiyans. And as the original, Piccolo reveals to Raditz that Goku and Izuku will be revived by the Dragon Balls, but this time, as Raditz was dying, he mentions that his brother must be the legendary Super Saiyan that have been foretold to be born once every century in Saiyan culture. While that was happening, Roshi, Krillin, Kirishima, Nijiare and Bulma arrived on the scene, only to find the bodies of Izuku and Goku on the ground. Nijiare rushed to Izuku's body but it was already too late. As for Krillin, he went to Goku's as in the anime. Bulma went to get Gohan out of the space pod, which was still intact, and as the gang and Gohan were mourning Goku and Izuku's death, their bodies faded into nothing, leaving only bloodstains on the ground.
Nejire freaking out, she would say, Goku? Zuzu? What's going on? Where did Goku and Zuzu's body go? We can't revive them if their bodies aren't here. Piccolo would say, I believe it was Kami. It was his doing. But to be honest, I don't care. They're both gone either way. How did this Raditz guy was able to find Goku? I mean, the world's a big place, but he came right to him. Piccolo would say, the device on his face was some sort of tracker. You gotta take the strong power level, and then track its location.
Nejiro looked at Raditz's corpse, and took the device from off his face, and onto hers. She pressed the button on the side, and she heard voices. Meanwhile on a faraway planet,
a voice would say, Hey, Vegeta, I think Raditz died. Vegeta, unamused, he would say, Who cares, Nappa? I certainly don't. But at least, now we know that we can go there and take their Dragon Balls. Nejire through the scouter, she would say, No, you can't. We have to get home with them. Vegeta, confused, he would say, Nappa, is this Earthling using Raditz's scouter? Nappa would say, I believe so, Vegeta. Nejire would say, Yes, I'm using it, and I want to tell you, I don't know how strong you are, I don't know how much it's going to take you to get here, but know that we'll be training. And then, I don't know if we're able to kill you. Vegeta confused, he would say, Nappa, I think this one on your brain wave. Mind translating? Nappa would say, "Geez, Vegeta, how stupid are you? She said that she doesn't know how strong we are or when we're gonna get to Earth, and that they'll be training and probably kill us. Joke's on them. It'll take us 1 year to get there, but they'll never reach your power level of 18,000. Vegeta, frustrated, he would say, "Nappa, stop telling them everything! And you, Earthling, we'll be there sooner than you expect, and then Nejire cutting them off. She would say, "Sorry, Earth is closed." Vegeta, confused, he would say, "What?" Nappa would say, I think she said Earth is closed." Vegeta would say, "Nappa, I heard what she said, and that is impossible." I would say, "Why?" Vegeta, annoyed, would say, "Nappa, just go over there and shut up."
Back on Earth,
Bulma would say, "Nejire, who are you talking to?" Nejire would say, "Oh, with two people. One was called Nappa and the other Vegeta. I believe that they were also Saiyans." Bulma would say, "And you told them Earth was closed?" Nejire nodded. Krillin would say, "I don't know if that was the smartest thing to say or the dumbest thing to say."
Bulma and the rest start going back, but Piccolo approached them and he requested to train Gohan, and Gohan that was aware of the situation. He responded that he wanted to be like Goku and Izuku. Meanwhile in other world, Goku and Izuku were with Kami in front of a massive desk that belonged to King Yema, the one that judged who should go where in the afterlife, and unlike the other dead people there, Goku and Izuku had their own body, but with a halo on top of their heads.
Kami would say,
"And that is where we stand, O great King Yema. For that reason, I humbly ask you to allow Goku and Izuku to seek King Kai's training, or else there won't be any hope for our planet." Goku, Izuku, it seems that your deeds will allow you to attempt to reach King Kai. But are you truly prepared to travel along Snake Way and face the hardships along the way?
Kami would say,
Yes, they are.
Yem would say,
Very well, I'll go call a guide. Goku, Izuku, be careful and do not fall off from Snake Way, because if you do, there is no coming back.
Goku would say, "We don't know what to expect, but we'll do our best." Yem would say,
And Izuku, I can tell you aren't from this universe. If for the slim chance you do return to your own, just know that whatever deed you have done here will allow you to keep your body when you die over there.
Izuku, confused, he would say, you said slim? As long as I'm able to get the Dragon Balls, I can wish for everybody to return home, right?" Yama would look at Izuku and he would say,
I guess Kami never mentioned that he can't do that, which means neither can Shenron. But you can ask King Kai. Once you meet him, he might give you a hand.
Izuku and Goku, with the guide's help, they made it to the beginning of Snake Way. Goku would say, "Wow, look how big it is." Izuku would say, "Does this thing even have an end?" The guy would say, "Yep, it certainly does. And at the end of Snake Way, that's where we find King Kai's planet." Goku would say, "How long is it?" The guy would say, "Apparently, it should be roughly around 600 or 700,000 miles, or some say even more."
Goku and Izuku looked at each other and gulped, and then they left a note for fortune teller Baba to tell the gang, and off they were to King Kai's planet. What did King Yema mean? Will Izuku and Goku be able to find King Kai's planet? Will they be back in time for the Saiyans' arrival? Well, find out in the next part of What If Deku Went to the Dragon Ball universe.
That's it for today's video. If you guys liked, leave a like, comment down below, and if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. Please comment down below if you guys liked how I did this video. If not, I'll do it regularly like I used to. That said, peace out.